Hello. So I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to chat. That's really all. I don't want to make it like I'm making some big deal out of anything, like I'm making some kind of point, some huge revelation, nothing like that. This is just, I'm eating, sorry. I want to eat and talk at the same time. You don't have to watch. The truth is, I record these videos of myself talking, and I don't post them, and I do that a lot. And I did that a lot before I was in therapy every week or every 2 weeks, and now since I've not been in therapy every week or every 2 weeks for the past few months, when I had been for about 6 years, this is what I'm doing again. I'm being my own therapist, and it honestly works way better. No offense to my previous counselors. I'm really sick of people's opinions about my life, about me. They're usually wrong. They're usually way off. But that's funny. I mean, that's just a funny experience to have. I guess what I got on here thinking about was the fact that I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, so that means I walk on my legs. I'm able to, but not for long, not in any kind of reliable way. So I have to rely on mobility devices like my power wheelchair. I have a manual wheelchair as well, but someone has to push me. I have a walker, and it was murder on my shoulders, so I barely use it now, but I have to sometimes around my building, but it hurts a lot. I use a cane when everything else is not there. I don't know why I need to explain all that. I don't need to explain any of this. I don't owe anyone any explanation, but people talk about being in isolation right now and being lonely and being just like, imagine, if you will, the experience of someone using a mobility device in this world right now. Imagine the experience of someone who is visibly disabled. It's I both am and am not. I don't even like the term invisible disability, because to me that's not realistic at all. But yeah, you never know what someone's dealing with. You're never inside another person's brain and body. You don't know. But if you want to experience an isolating experience, try walking a dog with a power wheelchair on a public, busy walking path, like the bike path here in Ottawa, near my house, and near it's everywhere in Ottawa. It's just popular here. It's a shared bike path and walking path and everything path, you know. So I walk my dog on it. It's a good spot to do that. It's what everyone does. But now that everyone's schedule is different and people are looking for things to do, everyone's out. Everyone's out in my neighborhood. It's not even nice out today. It's kind of sunny. Sun's coming out. But it's pretty cold. So, I mean, it's funny. I guess people would normally, like, go do different things, and they can't right now. So they're just walking and walking and walking around where they live, and they're bringing their whole families, and they're just, it's like giant family groupings everywhere you go on these shared pathways. And I'm talking about the bike path, and then there's in my neighborhood, other shared pathways that are actually just walking paths, but people use them as bike paths. and everything paths. And I think because I'm out in the suburbs, my neighborhood's kind of, it's laid back in certain ways, and it's very, very much not in other ways. Everyone just thinks they own the whole place. I didn't even talk to anyone today. I just heard all kinds of weird remarks. I can hear you. Just because someone's in a wheelchair doesn't mean they can't hear what you're saying about them. But, yeah, people get really irritated with me because of the way I have to safely walk the dog. I have to walk her on the left side, and my control is on the right because I'm right-handed. That's the only way I can do it. So if someone's coming, so normally you would walk on the right side, right? But I walk on the left side. And when someone is coming, and they won't pass me on the other side, there's no other way for me to do it. I swear to God. And I've tried all kinds of things, and this is the only way I can safely walk my dog. So I just pull over and focus on the dog, and I just stop, and I just become a stationary object so they can just go around me because there's room. But people, I don't know, it is such an alienating experience because everyone you encounter has an issue with the fact that you just exist. And I feel that more now. It's like people are looking at me like I shouldn't be outside, and I don't make eye contact with anyone. But yeah, people who use wheelchairs also have a right to go out for walks with their dogs right now. It's not just for you and your family. Like, I understand people with children get protective, and people with older relatives get protective as well, and that, again, it's a suburban family neighborhood, so my building's all older people, and yeah, it's a little hard for me because usually I can interact with them more, but right now, my neighbors, I am trying to just not let anyone pet the dog. I don't want the dog catching anything. And I will occasionally, if someone says, oh, I just washed my hands, because my dog looks at people like longingly, like she wants pets. So it's funny right now because I can't. And one day I took her to the dog park because, yes, we still have a dog park. It's a walk-through dog park. You can't play with your dog in a horde of other dogs. You're not supposed to do that. It's dangerous. But right now, that I did do the walk-through portion. This was like a week ago. Anyway, it was, yeah, I made a video about that and uploaded it. I don't know who listens to this stuff, but these are some observations of the world from an ambulatory wheelchair user and a person who, my full-time job is taking care of my body. People hate me for that. People hate that. It's just, again, if you want to experience isolation, go through this. Like, but I'm good. I'm good, honestly. I'm good. And I don't want people worrying about me. And I don't want people pitying me. And it's very unhelpful when they do. And, yeah, I'm just experiencing so much tension with other people right now. But what I've been doing has been, I've been doing guided meditations every day, sometimes multiple times a day. It really helps with everything. Cold showers really help with everything too. Like, these are things that, yeah, people can make fun of. And I thought for so long that the whole spiritual New Age movement was not accessible to me because of my illness, and that's because it really pushed me out at first, because I was doing all that shit all the time. I was a vegetarian, I was doing yoga every day, and thought I was taking optimal prime care of my body, and then I fell very ill, and then it never went away, and I have always, since 2009 or something around there, been chronically ill, and in different ways. It's like once you think you got one thing figured out, something else happens. So I keep having to adjust to stages and phases of my illness changing and becoming more, and diagnoses becoming longer lists of diagnoses, right? And I still have to grapple with the fact that some people think I'm making this up, and some of those people are like doctors, or like they want you to think that this is the problem with people. Want you to think you're in control of this, and you're not. And you have, part of this is just letting go and accepting that there's lots of things you can do for your body, and lots of it doesn't work, and lots of it does help. But this is for each of us to figure out ourselves. It's not for us to project onto other people. So when you're someone who's chronically ill, people are constantly throwing shit at you, and I've been this way for a decade, so I know. But people are constantly trying to tell you what you need to do to be well again, and they can't accept that you just live like this. And you can have a good life. I have a good life. And I like myself. And it's true that I used to play music a lot, and now I can't. Last time I tried to play guitar, I went into a major pain flare. I mean, I played guitar for half an hour successfully, but then for the 3 days after, I was in like pretty much writhing in pain. So it's really hard to balance that and find, sorry, the dog is doing stuff. It's really hard to find ways to make that trade-off work for you, because when you have this body, a body like this, there is always a trade-off. So if you want to do something creative and put some output, some creative output into the world, because you're a creative person, or you want to get a job, or you want to volunteer, or you want to be part of a community, all of that, a physical community, all of that is so much, especially a physical community, but online communities as well, but much less, I'd say, just because the last few things I've tried to be a part of, shit kind of hit the fan, because people don't understand there's certain things I can't do, and you need to believe me that I can't do it, and I'm not lying. Like, you need to just believe me. If you don't believe me, then we can't continue. We can't have a relationship. We can't communicate. We can't have a community. We can't be friends. So just, I don't know what this is about. Inclusivity. I've been having some personal revelations lately, and I've been realizing I'm worth a whole lot more than I give myself credit for, and a lot of that comes from what I've internalized from what people external to me. A lot of that is my own reflected grief coming back at me, and I realize that too. But you have to be a really strong person to just go through this and be one of these people you're just a constant conundrum to everyone you meet, and everyone wonders about you, and you make people think, and that's good. That's a good thing. It's good. That's a gift. It's come to me recently that it's a gift, but it's taken a long time to feel that way. And maybe it's not healthy for some people to ever feel that way, but sometimes the way I have to look at life is I have to be thankful for everything and grateful for everything. because what is the point of life other than to learn, right? What is the point of human experience other than to learn from human experience? So I try to be grateful for my experience, and I try to be grateful for the privilege I have, and for the fact that I have a roof over my head, the fact that I got my power wheelchair even though I fought with ADP for 2 years. It's been a lifesaver, that thing. I can't even. Another thing that's really on my mind right now is so many people are doing this online, live, consciousness raising stuff and other really important things online, live streams. And I'm sounding all hokey. My boyfriend gets irritated sometimes, like, why are you charging your crystals under the moon? What the fuck is that, Yeah. I've just always kind of been into that sort of thing. So, yes. The esoteric side of life, right? Fascinating to me. And it's an outlet for me. And these people online, they don't know how much good they're doing right now by doing these live streams. And I see that they can't see us, and they wonder, is this effective? But just know, if you're putting output out there, some people just do not have the energy to create, and it means a lot to people like us, because it's something that actually gives me energy when I'm so depleted of energy all the time, and it's so valuable to me. And I couldn't be a part of these communities before, when they weren't all online like they've become in the last few weeks. I was a part, but I was like sidelines, back of everything, background, because I can't go participate in person with anything. I just got this wheelchair last year, and I haven't even taken the bus with it. You can't take public transit right now, really. I mean, it wouldn't be safe, would it? That's a whole thing, but I got it thinking I'll take public transit, I'll get out there, I'll get out in the community again, and I'll be a visible human being again, and not just someone who stays home all the time. And it's funny because look at this, like, we all have to stay home all the time, and this happened right at a time when I was really trying to put everything into getting out there more, and now I'm having to accept that I can't. And I'm actually really seeing the value in just being with myself. So I'm happy. So don't feel bad for me. I don't know what else to say. There's so much to say that people just don't hear. So I don't know, just helps to get it out, I guess. Take care of yourselves.